I wanna start this off by saying straight away that I won't be telling you the same things you've heard a million times when it comes to drafting. We all know that good teams are filled with one of each role, good CCs, and fast wave clear, right? You won't be hearing that from me. So here's what actually matters to a draft. And yes, this works both for solo queue and 5-man queue. First, take a look at this. Every team is always gonna be playing around one of these three main strategies. Group up is basically when your whole team sticks together all the time. You usually see this when you're running stuff like healers or heroes that deal area effect like these guys, because those guys works best when the whole team is moving as one. Then there's pick off. This one is all about catching enemies one by one, like you grab one and then back off, grab another, then back off again. No big team fights like the group up strategy. It's more like hit and run. Usually the team who uses the pick off strategy are filled with single target heroes. And lastly, split push. You already know how this one goes. 4 people fight and the last guy is off in another lane pushing towers. So here's the thing, these three strategies actually counters each other. They're like a rock paper scissors. This beats this and this beats that. This stuff is a basic part of macro, but a lot of people still don't know it. And which one should you use? That depends on your team, your draft, and the enemy's draft. Doesn't really matter which one you go for, as long as you understand your draft. What I mean when I say draft is your team's lineup, like the kind of damage you're bringing to the table and how you're handling defense. Let's talk about the damage part, because a lot of people still don't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to the damage composition. So when I say damage lineup, I'm basically asking where's your team's damage coming from? Is it physical, magic, is it poke damage from afar, or is it burst damage that deletes people in one go? Most teams will go with something like 1 magic and 3 physical, or sometimes 2 magic and 2 physical damage dealers. And the last slot is the roamer. Whether your roamer deals magic or physical damage doesn't really matter that much. So why does a team need to be balanced like this? Well, let's say your whole team is physical, and your only magic hero is your roamer, like Angela or something. If you do that, you've basically made your enemy's life super easy, because all they have to do is just buy physical defense item and your whole team's damage will be nerfed by a lot. They can just grab anti-Q-Rush to counter your skill-based heroes, Dominance Ice if you've got someone who rely on attack speed, maybe even an early Thunderbolt for that stack of physical defense as the game goes on. And then their marksmen will be super happy because all they need to do is just pick up Wind of Nature, and now your damage straight up doesn't work anymore. One item and your whole team is useless. On the flip side, having too much magic damage is just as bad. Like, picture this. Your whole team is running 5 magic heroes. And not just any magic heroes, everyone is using a burst type. I mean, sure, you've got Esmeralda in there who deals a little physical damage, but let's be real, the overall damage is still 90% magic. Now with this kind of draft, it just makes the enemy roamer and jungler happy because they don't even have to think. All they have to do is just get Athena's shield, and that one item alone is already enough to counter your entire team. I mean, I know your team can probably nuke someone's HP bar in one combo, but what if it doesn't kill? The cooldown on burst heroes aren't short. If that one combo doesn't land or doesn't finish the job, that hero's pretty much useless for the next 30 seconds. And it gets worse as the time goes on. They can just get Immortality, Queen's Wings, or Gold Meteor, or other magic defense on top of Athena, so now you can't even burst them at all. The point is, if your team only has one damage type, your enemy will have an easy time building counter items. So balance it out when you're in the draft pick. Try to keep your damage type balanced. Don't go all in on magic, don't go all in on physical, don't go full poke, don't go full burst either. But how do you know which hero to pick first? Alright, hero picks can be split into 5 categories. The first one is meta pick. Basically, these are the heroes that are currently strong, hard to counter, and super annoying if the enemy gets them. Usually the team with first pick has the advantage to grab one of these meta heroes, like in this match. My team had the first pick. We could have picked Fanny, Suyo, or Joy here. But since Suyo got nerfed recently and my friends wanted to run a pick of Strat, we decided to go with Fanny as our priority pick. Why? Because not only is her ganking really strong, she can also split push. So if my enemy is going full group up mode, as you can see the draft is all teamfight heroes, I can still split push to even out the draft. But keep in mind, not every match with first pick means you'll get the meta hero. Sometimes it turns out like this match right here. We got first pick Fanny again, but the enemy team still managed to grab Hayabusa and Selena. See? They got 2 meta heroes. That's why bans matter a lot when it comes to setting up your teams and your enemy's draft. But if you're not first picking a meta hero, then the next typical first pick is a flexible pick. Basically, you wanna pick a flexible hero who can be put into multiple roles so your team still has a bunch of hero option left. And why do you pick flexible heroes early? Because it messes with the enemy's head. For example, if you pick Cho early on, most people will probably think, this Cho is definitely gonna go XP. But then later, your friend picks Terizla, and suddenly, Cho becomes a roamer. That kind of stuff can confuse a lot of people. A good in-game example is when I got first pick and picked Lucas. Lucas can go jungle or XP, right? That's flexible. My enemy also picks Selena, and she's flexible too. She can go roam, or jungle, or even mid. That's the idea, to make the lane unpredictable. The third type is counter pick. This usually comes around the middle of the draft. I'm sure you know what I'm saying, like Kufra counters Dash Assassins, CC counters Gatot, Zuzin counters slow walking heroes, yeah, that kind of stuff. So counter picking means you're taking a hero that either counters the enemy or stops them from picking a hero that could counter your friend. Like in this game right here, we got first pick and took Fanny. Yes, Fanny again, I know. What counters Fanny? One of them is stun, right? If you stun Fanny, what can she do? Nothing. So what did the red team do? They instantly pick Moskov, Cho, Saber, and Badang, 4 heroes that can mess up Fanny's movement. And just like that, my Fanny got hard countered by these 4. That means in-game, I had no choice but to play super carefully to not get deleted every time I fly in. That's why sometimes, just to avoid getting countered, teams will immediately pick a hero together with their counter to it. Like here, red pick Hayabusa. And what counters Hayabusa? A really long stun that can stop his movement. One of many heroes that can do that really well is Franco. So instead of letting us to maybe pick Franco later, they just pick him right away along with Haya. That's how it goes. I'm pretty sure you've seen this kind of thing a lot in rank, and I bet most of you already understand how counter picking works. Alright, the fourth one is what we call a synergy pick. This type of pick is all about maximizing your hero's potential by pairing it with another hero that complements it perfectly. I know you've seen the classic duos like Angela with Fanny or Ling, Estes Fredrin, Johnson with Odette. Yeah, those aren't just random pairings, they're synergy picks. Most of the time, synergy picks come in during later part of the draft, because you need to know what your team already has and also what your enemy is planning to do. You can't just throw in a synergy picks blindly. It won't work if the rest of the team doesn't support it. For example, in this draft right here, we already have Zuzin. And Zuzin works really well with heroes that can group enemies up. Or better yet, the most synergistic with her is Carmilla. Why? Because their skills complements each other. Picture this, Carmilla drops her ult on 5 people, and you see that red line connects to everyone. Now if Zuzin pulls just one guy, everyone connected by Carmilla's link will be pulled too. And on top of that, we add Gatot in this match, who can jump in and locks everyone down during the team fight after Zuzin leaves everyone. So the combo is Carmilla ults, Zuzin pulls, Gatot dives in the middle, and the rest are finisher. So nobody move, everybody dies. That's synergy. You're not just playing your hero, you're syncing it with your teammates' pick to squeeze out every bit of value in the game. The last one is secure pick. Basically, you're just securing a hero. This is usually about stealing the enemy's pick before they have the chance to grab it. Like in this game, my enemy looked like they wanted to pick Haya, but for some reason, maybe they FOMO or something, they first pick Kimi instead because she just got revamped. So alright then, we grab Hayabusa before they could pick him in the second phase. Secure picks also work great to counter enemy strategies. For example, they pick Matilda. Now, what kind of heroes go well with Matilda? The aggressive ones who can dive the backline, pick up squishy cores, or disrupt junglers, right? They can't pick another roamer because they already locked in Matilda. And since Lucas Enjoy isn't banned and they can do all of that really well from early on, might as well grab them before they do. Plus, Lucas is still a flex pick here. He can be put in the jungle and MyJoy as a laner, or the other way around. So now my enemy has to rethink their jungler and XP lane so they don't lose hero power. So yeah, that's all the types of picks. And of course there are still more kind of picks. But in my opinion, those 5 I talked about earlier are more than enough, because if you already understand those, your draft should be way smoother. Should be. So are you still confused? Let's look at the draft from Onyx Philippines versus RRQ in the Snapdragon series. Alright, so Onyx had the first pick and they went straight for Granger. This game happened before Granger got nerfed, by the way. You guys know how annoying Granger was back then. This hero is super strong in the early game, mid game, even the late game. Just solid all around. And on top of that, it's Kalra's comfort pick. You see, no matter how hard you try to counter someone who's already know a hero inside and out, they're gonna play it well no matter what. So don't be surprised that Onyx confidently first picked Granger. Then RRQ picked Joy and Phobius. So the reason they picked the purple hero early is to make the objectives like Turtle and Lord easier for them. And it's also Joy's hero counter. Like if Joy get knocked back by Phoebus' passive or get lifted by his second skill, it can cancel her whole second skill combo. I mean, what's the point of having Joy if she can't dash around, right? Plus Phoebus has strong laning, good zoning, hard to kill, and great for buying time. As for Joy, no need to explain much. She's super strong right now, especially if you pair her with heroes that can group enemies up together. This also puts pressure on Kelra's Granger because Joy's always moving around while Granger's skill need to be aimed carefully to actually hit, and Granger has only one dash skill. Next up, Onyx picked Hayabusa and Luyi. Now I'm sure you might be wondering, why the heck did they pick Luyi this early? Why not just grab Zusin or someone else that's better? Especially when those heroes were left open, right? But honestly, I think this was a smart move. Picking Luyi early totally caught RRQ off guard. Like, who the hell even picks Luyi this early in today's meta? No one expects that. And because of that, it kinda messes up RRQ's draft later on. Here's why. First of all, Luoyi is Super Friend's comfort pick. You guys remember what happened at M6 when they used Luoyi, right? So this pick already creates a headache for RRQ. But here's the real reason I think they locked her in so early, because RRQ hadn't picked a roamer yet. They could have gone for a teamfight heavy or healer comps that sticks together and always in groups. But now with Luyi on the table, that becomes a lot riskier. Because to make that kind of comp work, you need your whole team sticking close and moving as one. And guess what Luyi loves? Grouped up enemies. Her skills can tear those comps apart. So Onyx is basically saying, go ahead, try it, we dare you. And the second thing is, they paired Luoyi with Hayabusa. You already know how deadly Hayabusa is when picking people off. So now imagine this, Luoyi ults to the backline, teleports Hayabusa in, then Hayabusa flanks and deletes someone before RRQ can even react. That's the whole idea. Clean setup, clean execution. So now about Hayabusa. This one is King Kong's comfort pick, the assassins that on fire in the current meta. He's great in teamfight, super agile, can dive straight into the backline, slippery as hell, and he's useful right from the early game. And he can farm just as fast as Joy, so Onyx jungler won't left behind in farm. Now since Onyx let Zusin slide, RRQ didn't think twice and grabbed her right away. Honestly, I don't need to explain much here. You guys already know how good Zusin is ever since she came out. She is always meta. But here's the smart part. RRQ picked Zusin not just because she's strong, but because she's cute. I like her. Now for real though, it's to limit Kirk and Brusco's hero choices. Basically, to stop them from picking those tanky, annoying walking heroes that could cause problem for the core heroes. Because if Onyx went for those hard to kill heroes that just run around causing chaos, RRQ's game, especially Joy, would be way harder. But with Zusin, those heroes become easy target. One wrong move and they're dead. So yeah, picking her here is a perfect counter and solid draft control. Then, after the second banning phase, RRQ locked in Tigreal. Now this Tigreal pick, it's clearly meant to counter Onyx strategy. Just look at Onyx's first 3 heroes. They're all single target. That basically screams we're playing pick off. And if we go back to that rock paper scissors of strategy, group up comms counter pick off, right? And how do you make the most out of Tigreal? You move together. And RRQ's lineup is perfect for that. All their heroes have AoE skills, so if they try to play pick off with a lineup like this, it'll be a total waste. That's why this Tigreal pick can make Onyx life way harder, especially dealing with the mid lane combo, Zusin and Tigreal. Even in rank, that duo is a nightmare. I mean, when you get into a team fight, you won't be able to move. Their rotations are fast, their early game pressure is brutal, and the synergy pick from RRQ is straight up beautiful. They knew exactly what they're doing with this one. Then Onyx went for Jawhead. This pick is super solid against RRQ's lineup. Why? Because most of their heroes are the run straight at you type. And Jawhead's second skill makes them think twice. One wrong step and you're getting yeeted across the map. Plus, if Onyx builds Jawhead tank, he'll be pretty hard to kill. So if RRQ wants to burst him down, they're gonna have to waste a bunch of skill first. And Jawhead can kinda counters Joy, like if she dives in too deep, he can toss her right back out. Or maybe throw Joy closer to Onyx team. Next up is Hylos. Hylos is interesting. He's one of those good but not that good kind of picks in this situation. What he brings to the table is obvious. He's super tanky, his zoning is great, and in big team fights or retreats, that movement speed from his ult is a game changer. Maybe this was Onyx's way of matching RRQ's beef hero. Since RRQ has Phoebus, so Onyx grabs Hylos to balance things out in the front line. But here's the downside. RRQ has Zusin, and Zusin makes life hard for slow, clunky heroes, and Hylos walks everywhere, right? So one bad step and Zusin will lift him up like it's nothing, and suddenly this horse becomes a free kill. So yeah, picking Hylos here has its pros and cons. Not totally sure why Onyx went with him, especially when there's other options like Badang or maybe even CC, both of which could have fit their draft just fine. But hey, this is Onyx we're talking about. Pro players have their own read on things, so maybe there's something they see that we don't. And both Jawhead and Hylos are flex pick here, so RRQ has no idea who's going XP and who's roaming. Could be Hylos XP, Jawhead roam, or maybe the other other way around. That kind of thing adds another layer of mind games going. And finally, RRQ picked Cloud for their gold lane. Not Mia, not Leslie, and definitely not that Hanabi you guys keep hyping up for no reason. So, why Cloud? Simple, look at Onyx lineup. They have tanky frontliner like Hylos and Jawhead, thick boys, ton of HP. And you know who loves chipping away at BV targets like that? Cloud. But it's not just about countering the tanks, Cloud also secures RRQ's mid to late game. Just look, the rest of RRQ's draft already handles the early game. They have tons of damage and strong early game pressure. But without a proper late game insurance pick, they'll fall off hard once the match goes past 10 minutes. So Cloud solves that. His damage scales off enemy HP, so it won't matter if Onyx built defensive items, and his skills are AoE. So he's not just melting one guy, he's chunking the entire teams in big team fight. The plan is, once they hit the mid game, Cloud can eat Onyx HP down, and Joy, who started off as RRQ's main damage dealer, now becomes more of a finisher. Cloud does the damage, meanwhile Joy cleans up. And that's it. In the end, RRQ won this match because they won the draft phase. Honestly, I'm running out of ways to explain draft without turning it into an essay. So if you can read drafts like this and want to apply it in rank, your best bet is to play with a full 5-man squad, like me. It's kinda tricky to do it in solo queue because there's no such thing as communication, chemistry, or strategy down there. People don't care what the comp is. All they care about is skills and running Saber around with attack speed build.